Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving into something we all do but almost never talk about. At least, not politely. Okay, picture this. You've got this unbelievably annoying neighbor. Let's call him Shalaby. Shalaby blasts music until 3 a.m., hogs 2 parking spots, and is always asking to borrow cash he literally never pays back. You've tried being nice, right? You've tried reasoning, but the frustration is just building. And then one day, he pushes you just that one step too far. You feel it bubbling up in your chest, that overwhelming, absolute urge to just let a swear word fly. It's a completely universal human reaction. But why do we do it? And why are the exact words we desperately want to use in that moment considered so bad? Okay, let's dive into this. What is the actual wisdom behind slapping a duck sound or a giant loud bleep over an insult? Think about how absurd this is for a second. You're watching TV, someone curses, and the network bleeps it out. But here's the crazy paradox. You know exactly what they said. Your parents know what they said. Society collectively pretends we don't know these words, yet we jump through all these elaborate hoops to mask them. We either really want to swear but pretend we aren't, or we're forced to swear and then immediately try to hide it. It's just a totally fascinating contradiction. To really wrap our heads around how profanity works in our daily lives, we've got to look at what I like to call the car horn analogy. Imagine you're just walking down the street, and suddenly someone blasts their car horn. Boom. You instantly pay attention, right? A car horn is literally designed to be loud, disruptive, and impossible to ignore. Maybe the driver's furious, maybe they're warning someone, or hey, maybe they're just celebrating a wedding. The emotion totally depends on the context, but the result? A sudden jolt of electricity in the air. Swearing works exactly like that car horn. When you drop a taboo word, you instantly electrify the room. You command absolute attention. There's just no way you'd get that same level of focus without that specific disruptive word. Section 1. Anatomy of a bad word. The cultural and phonetic rules. So we know swearing is our social car horn, but what actually makes these specific words so unacceptable in the first place? Why are some words totally fine while others get the bleep? Well, this brilliantly illustrates the work of cognitive scientist Benjamin Bergen. He points out that swear words are directly tied to a society's unique taboos. It's kind of like looking into a cultural mirror. For instance, in more conservative or highly religious societies, the absolute most offensive things you can say are tied to religion, sex, and bodily functions. But switch over to Western societies, which tend to be more secular, and the taboos shift. Because of their complex histories with discrimination, words that target race, disability, and gender are the ultimate offenses there. You can literally figure out what a society values and what it deeply struggles with just by looking at the words it bans from everyday conversation. But here's the catch, guys. The meaning of these words is not static at all. Language is alive. Take the English word dick. It used to be nothing more than a totally innocent nickname for Richard. But over time, society attached it to anatomy, and boom, it became taboo. On the flip side, look at the Egyptian Arabic word fashka. Historically, this was a really severe, highly offensive sexual taboo. But over the years, younger generations completely stripped it of its taboo status. Today, it's just used casually to mean very or a lot. So society can magically turn an innocent word into a swear or completely strip a swear word of its power entirely. Which brings us to this wild, endless loop, identified by linguistics professor Christy Beers-Fagerston. It goes like this. First, a word is banned by society. Because it's banned, people use it when they want to make a massive emotional impact. Step 3, using that word causes shock and a huge reaction. And step 4, that strong reaction just reinforces the fact that the word is taboo in the first place. A swear word's immense power comes directly from the chaos it causes when you say it out loud. The more we freak out about it, the stronger the word gets. And make no mistake, institutions take this taboo cycle incredibly seriously. I mean, in 2014, Russia legally banned swearing in the arts and media. Also in 2014, get this, a mom in South Carolina was actually arrested for swearing in front of her kids in a supermarket. And in 2015, a professor at Louisiana State University was flat out fired for using profanity during a lecture. While these are definitely extreme cases, they perfectly highlight just how desperately society tries to enforce the rules of this linguistic game. Now, I want to play a really quick game with you. Look at these two totally fake, made-up words, yog and sog. Neither of them means anything at all. But if I asked you to guess which one sounds like a swear word, I guarantee almost all of you picked sog. But why? Well, linguists have found that bad words rely heavily on explosive, hard consonants, think T, S, K, and G, rather than soft, flowing vowels. A swear word needs to be this short, sharp, acoustic explosion. Sog just sounds angrier, doesn't it? Section 2. The brain on profanity, the neurological reaction. So we've covered the culture and the sounds, but what is actually happening inside our bodies when these acoustic explosions go off? The truly incredible thing here is that the impact of a swear word isn't just social. We can actually measure it in a lab. Research by psychology and communication expert Karen Stapleton reveals something absolutely wild. Merely hearing a swear word totally hijacks your autonomic nervous system. Your heart rate spikes, you start sweating, your breathing gets rapid, and your brain throws you right into fight or flight mode. Your body chemically prepares for danger just because a specific sequence of hard consonants hit your eardrum. And the craziest part? This happens even if the insult has nothing to do with you. Just being in the room when a taboo word drops triggers this biological alarm. But where do these words actually come from inside our own heads? Think of it like this. The right side of your brain is your spontaneous emotional center. When you accidentally smash your toe into the nightstand, it's your right brain that instantly blurts out a curse word in agony. Meanwhile, your left brain is the logical filter. It's like the stressed-out manager frantically trying to hit the brakes, reminding you, hey, we're at the in-laws' house. In fact, patients who suffer damage to the right side of their brain often stop swearing completely. But those with left brain damage, they might swear way more, simply because they've lost that manager. They've lost the filter. Let's move to and see how this builds perfectly into psychology professor Timothy Jay's unified theory on swearing. He boils the whole thing down to 3 elements that happen all at once. Element 1 is social, calculating the context. Are you hanging out with your friends or are you sitting next to your boss? Element 2 is psychological, your personal upbringing, like were you punished for swearing as a kid? And element 3 is neurological, the actual physical state of your brain's filtering capacity in that exact moment. Before a single curse word ever leaves your lips, your brain is running this incredibly complex split-second calculation to decide if the risk is actually worth it. Section 3. The hidden benefits, superpowers of swearing. So if swearing is so socially risky and triggers this huge stress response, why hasn't human evolution just phased it out? Well, prepare yourselves, because here is the twist of this explainer. Despite all those risks, swearing actually comes with scientifically proven superpowers. Back in 2011, the Journal of Pain published a study that sounds kind of hilarious but is entirely real. Researchers asked 2 groups of people to dunk their hands into freezing cold ice water. Group 1 was told to just repeat totally random, harmless words. Group 2 was told to repeat swear words. The goal was to see which group could endure that freezing, awful pain the longest. So, the crucial point is 31. The group that was allowed to swear managed to keep their hands in the freezing water for an average of 31 seconds longer. 31 seconds. Swearing legitimately acts as an analgesic. It literally alters our perception of physical discomfort and makes us physically stronger in the face of pain. How crazy is that? But wait, the superpowers aren't just physical, they're social too. Psychologist Corey Scherer ran this experiment with speeches and found that dropping a mild swear word at the very beginning or end of a speech actually made the speaker seem more authentic and trustworthy to the audience. And similarly, marketing researcher Catherine Lesrenier analyzed a bunch of Amazon reviews. She found that reviews using mild swearing for emphasis, like saying a product is so blanking good, actually got higher helpful ratings from other shoppers. A strategic mild swear word just bypasses that fake corporate polish. It makes you seem raw, honest, and just human. Section 4. Why we must ban it, the taboo paradox. This brings us to a major crossroads in our explainer. If swearing biologically reduces our pain and sociologically builds trust and authenticity, why on earth don't we just legalize it completely? Why not ditch the duck sounds and the bleeps and let everyone swear freely all the time? Well, now what's really interesting about this slide is cognitive linguist Steven Pinker's answer. He talks about cathartic swearing. Pinker argues that as humans, we desperately need a way to violently release strong emotions, whether that's anger, fear, joy, or physical pain, without actually resorting to physical violence. Swear words are our built-in pressure release valve. But, and this is a massive caveat, those same researchers who did the ice water study, they found that if you're someone who swears constantly, every single day, this cathartic superpower completely disappears. The pain relief just vanishes. Which leads us to our final takeaway, the taboo paradox. To keep swearing powerful, we absolutely must keep it forbidden. The only reason these words can relieve your pain, shock your annoying neighbor's shalebi, or convey that unfiltered authenticity is precisely because society tells us we aren't allowed to say them. If they became totally normal everyday words, they'd completely lose their magic. The bleeps, the bans, the scoldings, those are the exact things charging the battery of our profanity. So the next time you drop a bad word, I want you to ask yourself, are you wielding a carefully preserved social superpower, or have you just completely lost your filter? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this changes how you hear the world.